Let me get our notes up. Let me get some Vegas lines up. We'll fucking chit chat. Yep. No one's on the show. Vegas. What are you doing tonight, Rod? I like your shirt, bro. You chilling, man? You just chilling. Good for you. Yeah. I talked to a guy who has a wife. The first weekend, he goes, "Dude, I watched 10 hours of football. My wife was pissed." I was like, "Sucks to be your wife." Yeah. Look, right? You have 16 weeks. Like, look, honey. Look, you can have 17. You can have every other fucking weekend, but 16 weeks straight is my fucking weekends. Like, college football playoffs. You got college football finals. Yeah. So 18 weeks. I'm sorry, 18. All right, 18. What is Joel doing? Oh, I sorry. How did I not see him? How do I not see him? Hold on, let me hang up this other call. Maybe this will help. I don't see Joel at all. I don't know why. Oh, hold on. Oh, there you are. There you are. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Of course he put that shirt on. Here, let me go barf real quick. Jesus. Ain't no quit in a Seminole. Playing against NIU. There ain't no quit. Congratulations. Look. Oh my God. Better ingredients. Papa John's. No, he got fired. Sexual. No, I think it was racial slurs, wasn't it? Oh my God, yeah. I think it had something to do with like, yeah, yep. In context, yeah, he did. Oh no, he had to step down. Yeah, that was ridiculous. No, I'm sure he's still affiliated somehow. Probably. You son of a bitch. Come on, bro. We gonna school you. What she's you yeah, he's 90% of country music singers do smoke. Jesus Christ. They perform high. I don't blame you. All right, let's kick this son bitch off, man. When we talked about Seminoles, we talked about college a little bit. Me? Really? All right. Well, you have to fucking look into that for Halloween then. We'll fucking do it then, man. Fuck, I have to look. I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Oh, Jesus. You realize Yeah. All right. I can see that. I just looked him up. It's a little before my time, Joel. Jesus, you're still slightly older than me. A little bit. Yeah, you're old as fuck, man. Jesus. You look it. Nah. No, okay. Stop talking to your wife and ask someone real. Jesus. Te- Tell Amber to keep it down. We're trying to shoot a podcast here. Just tell her. Oh, nice. All right, guys, let's kick this sumbitch off. Let's do this. Let's get this pod started. So I'm Justin, your host here. I got my boy Joel over here tonight with me. How we doing, Joel? Every night, living the dream. And I got my main man over here, Rodney. How we chilling tonight, bro? Fantastic, man. So let's kick this sumbitch off with a little quick question. I typically have a question to start us off real quick. And my question tonight is, where do you see the NFL headed with the new rules, and how much do you like defenses versus offenses, obviously? Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, like, go ahead, Joe. Yeah. I feel like you looked it up. So let me take a guess. I'm gonna. Is this including preseason or is this just regular season? Reg 1 through 3. I am thinking 9. Okay. So that's 6. I mean, I didn't feel like I've seen a lot of other ones, but go ahead. I mean, obviously it's way higher, so take a shot. Okay. No, 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 no. Oh. 4. I say 4. Total or 1 through 3? Holy shit. Wow. All right, then. 25. Getting busy over there. Knocking shit over. What's up, Amber? Good. Before you hit him. Before you hit him. It shouldn't be. And a few of my comments that I think of, honestly, when I see these, like kind of Rodney's point, right? So let's go back to college, and I feel like some of those Clay Matthew hits. If let's go back, let's say they're in college, is that going to be thrown in a flag? If he has a ball in his hand, is that going to be called a flag? It's definitely not going to be called a flag. We all know that. I understand they're trying to make the game safer, and there's a lot of points I'd like to make, but I'm just going to try to wrap this up real quick. But it's one, people buy tickets to go watch the quarterbacks in the games. They're trying to make the quarterbacks safer. They want people in the stands, to Rodney's point, and its attendance is down. Why? Because they're going to watch Blaine Gabbert. No one wants to go watch Blaine Gabbert chuck balls around a field. They don't. You know, they want to watch the Aaron Rodgers. They want to watch the Jameis Winstons or Ryan Fitzmagic. And they want to watch, the Kirk Cousins. And they want to see, they want to see these elite quarterbacks standing upright. And I honestly, the takeaway I had from Monday night, there was one special call. There's one special call that there was no way that was, interference. That was when he touched his helmet. He didn't even tackle him. Remember that flag? It was just the most ridiculous call. Yeah. 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 And I yeah. Hands to the face. And and the thing is at some point the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't even care. They started taking shots on Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they knew they were gonna get the penalty, and they didn't give a fuck. You saw him stand there, look at the referee, like, okay, and they just walk back 15 yards. Look, but the thing is like that, like, and then you saw later in the game they loosened up on the flag, right? You saw Ben get sandwiched by two players, right, as a sack. And then they saw another play where he actually got sacked again, and there was no flag on that. I think it has to do with the momentum, honestly, and I think they're trying to figure out what is egregious, like you said, to your point, Joel, and what's not egregious. And they're going to extremes right now, and they're trying to figure that out, and they will get to a point, but it's going to get to the point where you can't touch the quarterback. I truly feel like the defense is going to go like spy defense on a quarterback, drop 8, and then you beat me with you beat me because like you're just going to. That's all you can do. You can't sack the quarterback anymore. That's where we're going. Yeah, he tore his ACL trying to stop himself from hitting the quarterback. Yes, absolutely. Because of this rule. Yeah, I am too. But and and I really think you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks throwing for 400 yards every week because of this rule. You did. You did. I actually listened to that. Yep. Yep. You're right. Chucking the ball. Fitzpatrick threw 4 picks and still threw for 400 yards. Like, holy shit. All right, so I'm sure we'll touch on this subject again next week when there's 42 more flags on this rule here. So let's jump over to let's hit some of the big games, and then we'll try to roll through these, and we'll kind of go see some of the future games on this podcast. I know we had this agreement, so let's start off with Cleveland versus Jets. Cleveland finally gets off the mat after 2 years, after like 600 days without a win. You've got Baker Mayfield coming in, and honestly, the Jets had no answer for Baker Mayfield because they had no game plan. They had looked lost. Give me your analysis on that game. Benny and the Jets. So one of the things that I noticed, honestly, is like I know Baker Mayfield pulled him out of a hole. One, two, the Jets looked completely lost when he came into the game. Honestly, like I think their defense were not planned for him. They had a plan for Tyrod, and when he went out, they just looked lost. And the second thing I will say is Tyrod isn't bad. Honestly, Tyrod should be starting. Yes, Baker Mayfield won the game, but Tyrod would be 3-0 right now if it were not for a kicker. 100%. It's not Tyrod's fault. But what did you see when you watched that game, Joe? You fucking cream your pants over there? Yep. Oh my god. Old man Drew. Jesus. That's a great yeah. That's a great segue to the next game. But yeah, talk about old men, man. Let's go to that freaking San Francisco Atlanta game, man. Like, excuse me, I'm sorry. Yes, Saints Falcons. Saints. Saints Falcons. Saints Falcons. Yes, Saints Falcons. Drew Brees. I'm sorry, but so in one of my leagues, and this is funny, right? So in one of my leagues, it pays out for most points total by the end of the year, right? Most points scored total year, whatever. I'm in second. After this week, I was in second place. I was in first going into this week. I'm behind a guy who's a New Orleans homer who has Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, and Michael Thomas on his team. It is freaking killing. He's only beating me by 20 points. My team is like literally really well stacked, but his team, if New Orleans Saints take a shit or their defense decides to show up one of these fucking weeks where Drew Brees doesn't have to throw for the league rushing or the league passing record every game to win a ball game, maybe I'll win this fucking league. But until then, they're gonna keep killing me, man. And you know what's ridiculous is Michael Thomas has 38 catches on 40 targets. 38 catches on that's like a 98% clip, bro. Like it's so stupid. When are they gonna crash to earth? But they had Brandon Cooks, right, at the time? I think Joel froze up. But, it's killing me, dude. Like, in Atlanta had to throw a ton to catch up in this game. Is it, though? Oh, my God. They just drafted a ton of defensive players, though, man, and they can't do shit. Are they ever going to slow down? Yes. Well, Kamara or somebody at least get hurt. Please. Tell me this. Like, give me some good news. But they got Gillislee, who's like basically the same player. Yeah, you do, I'm sure. Fantasy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Fucking Chris Thompson killed me Sunday because the game script did not go the way it was supposed to, right? Like, exactly. And so they just got to run instead of pass. Like Chris Thompson was supposed to be go ball. He got me 2.7 points. He crushed me, dude. I'm like, I lost in 2 leagues, not because of him, but. Hold on. Crowder hasn't shown up at all. Reed barely has shown up. Oh, slow it. It's like a ramp up thing. I bet. Oof. I wouldn't be worried either. They're still trying to figure their shit out in Dallas. And like what's funny is people there he is. And people like even said preseason there was some people that I trust ranking wise that said you should take Kamara over Zeke, and that was hard for me to do in some leagues, and I didn't. But I didn't have Zeke either. I was in the David Johnson I'm in that shitstorm right now in 2 leagues. But lucky for me, I picked up Connor in every league too, so he's replacing David Johnson in 2 of my leagues. I'm still struggling, but It's not as bad as it could have been. But you know, what was your take? I mean, honestly, Joel, from the New Orleans Atlanta game, we were talking about how Drew Brees has always been this way, always having to throw for 400 yards a game to win a game. I mean, is this ever going to slow down? They had Brandon Cooks too. Oh no, I'm sorry, Patriots did. I apologize. You're right. Absolutely. And honestly, like I hope it does. I hope their defense decides to show up one of these games where Drew Brees doesn't have to throw for 400 yards a damn game to win because it's killing me in fantasy. I feel like if I play him, I'm just gonna get raped. And my team is like literally one of like every play, like every player. Like I have Devontae Adams, I have Tyreek Hill, I have Connor, I have Matt Ryan. Like I am stacked from top to bottom in a 14 team 2 flex league, and I'm killing it. Except he's the only one that's like a threat, and it's because of one fucking team, and it really irritates me if you couldn't tell. But anyway, but we'll hop off of that. Let's go to some future lines and things like that. Some of the future games that we can go through here. I know we mentioned a couple earlier. Let's start out with a Thursday night game. Let's get some predictions and things like that. We'll go off the power rankings. So number one is the Rams playing Thursday night against Minnesota. The Rams are favored 6.5 at home. Over unders 49 points. Who do you think is going to win this game? Just for the sake of fun, we'll play the Vegas odds. You can take the -6.5 or the +6.5 from Minnesota. Who do you think is going to win? Start us off, Joel. What do you think? So you're picking the Vikings to win this game? Is that what you're saying? What about you, Rodney? What you think? Okay. Personally, I agree with everything you guys said. Personally, one of the biggest things is one, this 49-point game I feel is like way too high. Last year they played each other and the score was 7-24. On top of that, the Rams actually have Aqib Talib out this week, and their other starting corner is out for the Rams. And so, to me, especially since last week, Vikings got their ass whipped by the Bills, I feel like they were looking a week ahead. They were looking at this game, preparing 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And I feel like they got their ass handed to them by the Bills because they weren't even looking at the Bills. They saw the Bills as like some kind of bye week thing, you know. And personally, I really think that the Vikings win this straight up. I mean, like the points, I've got money on this game. I think the Vikings win this thing straight up, honestly. And that's my own personal opinion. Yes, the Rams are good. The Rams have weapons on offense, but the Vikings have one of the best rushing defenses. You swallow Todd Gurley. How is Goff going to be under pressure? I know that Kirk Cousins under pressure this year has a QBR of 130. And so I know that if the Rams get after him, other than last week, yes, he had a couple strip sacks, but overall, his QBR is 130 under pressure. I don't know how Goff is. Goff is in the pocket. He has clean pockets. Well, guess what? You haven't played the Rams. You've played Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting. No one's coming after you if Arizona's playing you. And he's played a couple of lollipop teams. I feel like Joel made a good point. I feel like they're sitting back on this game, and I think the Vikings will take this. They don't want to be embarrassed twice in a row, and that's just. I think they have this game even on the road. I'll take the points. So I got Vikings. Coming up after that, let's transition over here to a really fun game: Chiefs versus Broncos. We'll start with Rodney on this one. How do you think this one's going to go, brother? Hold on. Let me give you the line real quick. Kansas City Chiefs play on Monday night. The Chiefs are favored by 5 points on the road and against Denver, and the over/under is 56 points. My homies. Kansas City, KC, Rodney's got. What you got, Joe? Yeah? Really? Wow. Yeah. I think I agree with that assessment, honestly. At some point, the same thing happened last year. You know, Casey came out with like a shot out of hell. You know, you had Kareem Hunt at the time going bananas, and then he went silent after about week 4 or 5. And eventually, I think that defenses will start catching up because every year, Andy Reid does this. Every year he comes up with these trick plays. He comes up putting his quarterbacks in great positions to win ball games, to be dominant, and he does a fantastic job. He's an offensive mind coach. I think the difference in this game, and you're right, I think the difference in this game comes down to the run game. And I honestly think Kansas City Chiefs has a better run game than the Denver Broncos. And it could be close to even, but I think Kareem Hunt is sophomore year. You can call it sophomore slump, whatever. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes is good, but Denver's defense is also pretty good. I feel like 55 is kind of high. It could be a bloodbath. I could be completely way off on this. But I still think KC wins this, even on the road, which is kind of hard to say. It's wild to say. So I think we're all agreed that KC is going to win this game. Let's jump over to the Philadelphia game, Tennessee. We're doing it off the power rankings. So Philadelphia is on the road and a 4-point favorite against Tennessee, 41.5 over under. I see Philadelphia winning this game personally. I'm going to start this one off. If Carson Wentz back, I feel like last week he was warming up a little bit. Yes, I know he's not here yet. Corey Clement actually running the ball. Carson Wentz really doesn't have anything there, but if you take, and you have like a shell of what is Marcus Mariota. So honestly, Philadelphia, I think, has a little bit better defense. It's going to be such a low-scoring game. It's going to be a snooze fucking fest, I feel like. But I still think Philadelphia pulls this out. What do you think, Rodney? They did the same thing last year, though. Oh my god, I know. Philly, what do you think, Joe? All right, so next up we have the New York Jets versus Jacksonville. The Jacksonville is favored at home at 7.5, and 38.5 over under, which sounds like a snooze fest. Who do you think's gonna win this one, Joe? Yeah, we'll do buyout. It's 7.5. Did I freeze on you guys? Looks like I froze. Yeah, I can barely hear you. You're good. You're good. All right, go ahead, Rodney. What you think? It's questionable. He's still out. So if are you picking Jacksonville or are you taking Jets, Rodney? All right, all right. I'm actually taking. It's not 9, Joel. It's 7.5. It started out at 9. It started out at 9. It started out at 9 and it moved to 7.5. Personally, I don't think after last week, I don't know if Marcus Mariota is any better than Sam Darnold at this point. And yes, are you telling me the Tennessee defense is any better than than the Jets defense? I think the Jets defense may be equally better, if not better, completely. And I don't think Jacksonville is worth a touchdown. Over a touchdown, 7.5 points. I'm not taking that at all. I think the Jets are actually can pull this out in a squeaker, but I'll take the Jets at plus 7.5 to win this game. I mean, even if they lose, it's not going to be by over a touchdown. I don't feel like personally. So I'll have to put the spreads in here after this. But last but not least, let's run over to the New Orleans Saints versus the Giants. This will be a fucking barn burner, or it's going to be a hell of a game. Rodney, who's your pick in this game, bro? Well, hold on. Let me give you the spread real quick. Let me see what you got real quick. We've got it's 3.5 favored by New Orleans Saints on the road, and Yep, and the over-under is 50 points, which is gigantic. Holy shit. Wow. Okay. 3.5 on the road. So you are taking the Saints. What do you say, Joe? Okay. All right, doubling down, are we? No, I do not. Refresh my memory. Jesus. Hmm. I'll tell you what, because I have some bets on Thursday night. If I win big, I'm probably going to start. I might bet on that game just because of your guys' analysis. I'm going to take the Giants here. I'm going to take a little upset. Honestly, I don't know if New Orleans can cover 3.5. If this was at home, if you flip it around, you're talking about a 9.5 or 10-point favorite. That doesn't sound right to me, honestly. And I think the Giants have enough offense. Like last year, they had no run game. Right? Yes, they still have a zero offensive line. Their offensive line is slightly better, and I mean slightly. But it's still not great. But at least the Giants do have a run game. The Saints have a run game. This game's going to be a lot closer than people think. It's probably going to be a shootout, yes. I'm going to take the Giants in this one just for shits and giggles. It's prime time. You never know what happens, especially when the Giants are in prime time. And, you know, I'm just gonna take it honestly. Like, and we'll see what happens. I probably might hate myself by the end of that game, but it's probably gonna be another 400-yard game versus a 400-yard game, and it's gonna come down to who has a better completion percentage. So we'll see how that runs out. So I'm gonna keep track of this right now. At the end of the season, we'll put something on this. Maybe after this podcast, we can all talk and we'll figure out what's a good bet. But I think 5 games every week is a pretty good amount of games just to kind of keep track, and we'll kind of do a win-loss and see what happens by the end of the week. Or end of the year, excuse me. So I think it'll be good, man. I appreciate you guys being on the podcast tonight. I think we've run out of time here, and it's been a lot of fun. You guys want to, Rodney, have anything to add before we head out of here? Absolutely. I mean, he goes 24 points, and Kelly Bryant was struggling. So yeah, you start Trevor Lawrence. Wait, powerhouse Florida State. What? Thursday night. All right, man. You could be split screening it with the Rams game. You're just gonna be. Oh shit. You be invested. What about you, Joel? You got anything to add? I mean, they finally started throwing the ball downfield, and their receivers started to catch the ball. So we'll give you that. Yep. I, I'm looking forward to it. If you guys do win and rolling into the Miami game, man, I think that's gonna be fun to watch. I think it's gonna be fun to watch. Minimum, it's gonna be fun to watch. Ain't no quit in a Seminole. Oh, shit. We got Syracuse, the rematch of who we lost last year. Well, we lost last year to them, so this is one of those like, holy shit. Nope. And that's kind of why I wonder personally about Kelly Bryant because at some point, he wants revenge on Alabama and he wants to go back. So it's like Trevor Lawrence, yeah, he's a better quarterback, right? This past game, he was a better quarterback. Through all the games, Kelly Bryant has been more efficient. So I don't know how this is going to play out. Honestly, Trevor Lawrence are struggling, 3-and-outs, 1, 2, 3 drives. They're going to pull him and they're going to put Kelly Bryant back in, and that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do with it. Yep. Oh yes, finally, bro. Dude, you're looking. That's awesome. He did. He wasn't struggling. His back didn't hurt him, from what we can tell. I think he's back. He stopped banging on them white chicks. His back didn't go out on him anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He's got one chick, not like five. He's juggling. He's not juggling five chicks anymore. He's fucking banging one at a time. You know what I'm saying? It's the momentum. Yeah. Yep. I think, and like, yeah, I agree. And I think it's really awesome that he's got some momentum going into the offseason because, like, you just kind of peaked right at the very end, and now you've got confidence going into the next season. Go out there, practice, do your reps, do what you got to do, and come back next season fresh and strong. You know what I mean? Like, he's got that in his mind, and that's pretty strong, especially with a guy of his caliber. It's gonna be fun to watch next year. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna win 3 tournaments next year. He might win 2, maybe. He might win if he wins one. I was gonna say, if he wins anything, if he wins one tournament, it might be a major next year. He might be in contention. So, at the very least, it's going to be entertaining for sure. I agree, and I think it's good for the sport. Like honestly, the ratings were up 200 over 200% Sunday, over 200%. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, and Tiger's just good for the sport. And next year, the purses are bigger because Tiger's in them. And they've even talked about this on tour. They're glad he's in there because now they're getting paid more because people are watching, because people are following. Ticket prices are going up. It's just good for golf in general when he's playing. Up. Jimmy Butler. Well, on that note. But oh shit. Well, I'll tell you what. On that note, man, let's sign off of this podcast. I'm Justin. All right, guys. Until next time, brother. It's good to see y'all. See ya.